Welcome to the all-new set of six by Rugby League Outsiders, where we share the good, the new, and the noteworthy of Rugby League outside the Heartlands. My name's Craig.
And my name's Carl. And this week we've got 6 breaking news stories from outside the traditional Heartlands, including some fantastic partnerships in League One that are taking place at the minute, plus 18 teams competing this year in the Midlands division. So, yeah, some great stories to crack on with this week.
Okay, this is obviously the all-new look for the show on a Tuesday night. Every week we're going to do a live set of 6 like this, 6 news stories that Carl's hand-picked. And then obviously later in the week, we'll do a standard podcast episode as well. Yeah, a little bit of housekeeping before we start. You have got the ability to interact with us live tonight, or whatever platform you're watching. You can comment, you can, have your little remarks. We'll do our best to share as many as we can, reply to as many as we can. If you're on Facebook, if you're watching on Facebook, then the software we use just needs permission to be able to share your name. You can still comment if you don't want to share it. Your data is perfectly safe. But if you want your name to come up on the screen and all that kind of stuff, maybe it's a great way for you to share some of your club news and all that kind of stuff, then you will have to give it permission. So do that before we kind of get into it. What else do we need to talk about before we go? You will see me kind of messing around with screens and stuff like that. We've got some graphics that we're going to bring up on the screen just to try and make it a little bit more visually exciting and interesting. So without further ado, Carl, let's, in fact, just before we kind of get into the first story, what's been some of your criteria for picking out these stories this week?
Essentially, I'm looking for stories that may not have sort of gained the headlines that I sort of think they should have done. And obviously, I'm always looking for stories for clubs outside the traditional Heartlands, things that we can really help promote.
Okay, so before we get into the first slide, I'm just trying to get rid of this freaking banner down the bottom. Any ideas how we do that? Oh, here we go. Get rid of that. No. There we go. So there's going to be a bit of this.
What could go wrong on a live feed, eh?
Exactly. Well, I've got to say, I mean, we were both a little bit nervous before this, weren't we?
Yeah.
I don't know why. On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous were you?
Well, at least a 6. 7.
That's about level with the Lee away shirt in it, isn't it? Right, okay, let's get into it. So, tackle 1, Carl, what have you got for us?
Oh, tackle 1. So, a story that's very close to our hearts. The teams have been announced that are going to be taking part in the Midlands League this year, and I'm really pleased to say there's going to be 18 teams competing in the Midlands this year. Standout headline of that, Nottingham Outlaws, who have previously been playing in Yorkshire 1, they're going to be back in the Midlands this year. Great story.
Yeah, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, aren't they? What the Yorkshire one was before and dropped down into the drop down, move across, whatever way you want to call it, but they're going to be, a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and I saw a statement that Nottingham put out, and they seem to be really pleased to be back playing in the Midlands. There's that pathway now for more like national recognition, playing in the Harry Jepson Cup, which as you've seen this year, Medway won that, and they're now in the Challenge Cup. So there's that pathway there for Midlands teams now. And then even more exciting, we've got 2 brand new sides competing this year.
They are, and the one that's caught my eye is the Deeping Ducks. Okay, now we've not spoke or heard anything from Deeping Ducks, although we're really interested to learn more about them. So if anybody from Deeping Ducks is watching, then get in touch, because we'd love to learn more about your club. I love the branding. I saw a little social post today. It was something like when the sky is dark and the whatever's happening, the ducks fly. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was just reminiscent of the Almighty Ducks film from the 90s or whatever it was.
Definitely, yeah, it was from the 90s one. Yeah, I mean, and their branding alone, the logo, which you can see up on screen at the minute, absolutely class. And I hope they've got a move called the Flying V.
Yeah, it's going to be great. All right, so other teams, Carl.
So we've also got another team in Birmingham. So Birmingham's really turning into like a hotbed of rugby league now. So the Aston Warriors have announced that they're here. They're going to be competing in the Merit League as well this year. I spoke to Mark Almond, who signed up that team earlier today, and so how this sort of came about is I think it was a lot of old boys from Birmingham Bulldogs. They came together early on in the year to raise money for MND, for the Rob Burrow sort of charity. sort of thought they were, going to get a team together. I think they were sort of in partnership with the Ravens to play this game, and they had 35 players put their hands up to play in this match, which it was clearly rugby league. It was there. It was just it was under the radar a little bit. So they came together. Absolutely brilliant day that they had. So they're going to be playing out of Aston Rugby Club, and Aston are sort of fully behind them. And it sounds like it's not just a team. There's potentially for a whole club set up there. There's junior teams. There's a women's team already. They're playing rugby union. So really exciting to see where that one goes.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on their progress this year. And a couple of interesting personalities there as well, Carl.
Yeah, so a name we know very well. Former Midlands Hurricanes head coach Rich Squires. He's going to be the head coach of Aston. So they've all got a great coach, great pedigree there, who's coached at a fantastic, really high level. It's just another great story for Midlands Rugby.
Yeah, if nothing else, they're going to be really well drilled and skilled. And, already we're talking about how the Midlands League is going to be a really exciting league to play in and to be part of. So we've got a little graphic actually with some of the team, well, all the teams on there. Cal, can you just sort of walk us through it?
So I'll go through the teams that are competing in the Midlands Premier Division this year, which is it's so strong this year. Nottingham Outlaws, as we've already said, they're back competing. I think it's the first time in sort of 8 or 9 years they've been in the Midlands League. Sherwood Wolfhunt are back also from Nottingham on Mansfield. Telford Raiders, the last year's champions, and Harry Jepson finalists. And then you got Leamington Royals, who will also be putting a side into the Merit League. So they're going to be putting 2 sides out this year, which is great. The Boston Buccaneers are back. I think it's been a few years since they've competed in the Midlands Division. The Oxford Cavs, as we all know very well. Coventry Bears, Birmingham Bulldogs, and then we've also got Swindon St George, who are going to be coming into the Midlands Premier League as well this year.
Yeah, great teams and some amazing badges as well. I know you had a comment on these.
So one thing I would say is you look at some of the teams in the sort of Yorkshire divisions and they've got like a traditional crest and that sort of thing. The Midlands teams have the branding so strong. Every team in the Midlands this year has got really strong branding. You've got Lincolnshire Lions, the Ravens with the black and white, the Worcester Rebels have just released their new kit actually, which is absolutely stunning. Yeah, brilliant kit. Really strong branding. And then obviously we've got the Deeping Ducks now. It's got to be the strongest branding out there.
You love it. Right, comments on some of the badges. Let us know as well where you're watching from, if anything, just to let us know that the comments are working more than anything else. So, all right, let's move on to the next news story, Carl.
Tackle 2. So Cornwall have gone into partnership with the West Warriors, and we've also got a partnership with the Hurricanes have partnered up with the Wigan Warriors. So the Cornwall West Warriors one is a great story for me. It's sort of giving the players from West Warriors in the south that direct pathway into League One. If they're ripping up trees and making a name for themselves, being in direct partnership with Cornwall is just a great opportunity for them to be playing higher tier rugby. I've got a little quote here actually by Kim Parkinson, who's the co-founder of the West Warriors. She just said, by having an affiliation with Cornwall, we can provide a direct pathway for our players into League One. And it's another draw for the West Warriors as well, being able to bring players into their team. They'll also be able to take players the other way, so people who are on the fringes of Cornwall will be able to play for the Wests just to sort of strengthen their team. So great for Southern Rugby that, and it's just a great story, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant to see that partnership and really exciting because we're going to talk about another partnership in a minute. The Wigan and the Midlands, and I know. We know a couple of Wigan fans around this area, and they're really excited. They've almost got like added energy, added excitement because of this partnership. And then some of their Wigan players, even if the fringe players or injured players coming back from injury or whatever, potentially playing in the Midlands, it's really exciting. And it also aligns Wigan fans with a club local to us. Maybe the Midlands can become their second team, if you like, because of this partnership. So yeah, really good.
Yeah, I think the thing with Wigan is they've got such a strong pedigree, aren't they? Their youth system is so strong. So I think Mark Dunning's played a smart move there and linked up with them. You could potentially see some stars of the future there coming from Wigan into the Hurricanes team, and that'd be great to see.
And it's probably worth mentioning that Midlands are actually playing Wigan this weekend in a little friendly.
Yeah, this weekend, and their commercial manager's been on the phone to us not long ago. Actually, they've offered 2 tickets to listeners of the show. I don't know how we're going to put them out on our social media this week.
Yeah, I think we'll run like a little competition. I think at some point, and then people can claim those tickets. So
we'll get it on. We'll get on to tonight, tomorrow, and that'll end Thursday. And anybody who doesn't manage to get a ticket through that, they can also buy tickets through MidlandsHurricanes.com.
Yeah, we'll post that on Instagram. So make sure you're following us on Instagram. You can click through the links and all that kind of search for Rugby League Outsiders on Instagram, and you'll be able to find that giveaway and get yourself a couple of free tickets, which I'm sure people will love. All right, moving on. We've got, I think, next story, Cal.
So tackle 3, Isaiah Vagana, you may recognise the surname, Craig.
I do. He's like stinking Bradford player, wasn't he?
So he's the son of Big Joe Vagana, who played over 200 games in the Super League for Bradford. His son has signed for Wakefield Trinity because Wakefield are doing everything right this year, Craig.
That's not quite what you were saying last year. No, what I like about this is obviously, they haven't gone for some aging NRL player, that's just wants to try something else at the back end of his career. They've gone for emerging talent, and that for me is really exciting. Just a little interesting story, actually. You call him, what did you call him?
Joe Vagana.
Vagana, yeah. Okay, well, that's not how a lot of people.
Vangana, as Steve-O used to call him, didn't he?
Vangana. And I remember my girlfriend at the time watching Bradford and Leeds, and she was like, "What is he called? Vagina?" I'll always remember that.
Well, if he's half as good as his dad, it's an absolute quality player.
I didn't know where you were going to go with that then.
He's a quality player to be playing in the Championship. Just quickly, Darryl Powell, he's made a really smart move there because Wakefield have sort of tapped into this new market that's suddenly become available for English teams. So previously, you had to have played 75% of games in the NRL to be able to be signed for a British team, or you had to have played international rugby. The new rule that's come through is they can be picking players from the New South Wales and Queensland Cup now. So that's like under 24s. If they've played 75% of games in that competition, they can now sign for British teams and get visas. So it's a new market, and Wakefield are the first team that have really tapped into that.
Yeah, and it's amazing that this young lad, this young talent, has actually seen something in Wakefield and gone, you know what, right, I'm going to give it a crack and go. It's brilliant. Okay, happy to move on, Cal.
Yeah, let's go on to the Challenge Cup results.
So we've got on the screen now the Challenge Cup results that we were going to print off, but we never did. But I think if you can just spin your mic around a bit, Cal, you can see and pick some of these out. But first round of the Challenge Cup, some really exciting fixtures and some great results there. Cal, which one stuck out for you?
Well, the one I was really keeping an eye on was the Hammersmith v Medway Dragons result, because like I say, it was Medway's first sort of run into the Challenge Cup. Hammersmith have, clearly this Southern Conference League is much stronger than the division that Medway are playing in at the minute. But put up a real good fight, did Medway. And something they're going to take away. It's just really proud moment for a lot of those players to be playing in the Challenge Cup, and they won't forget that.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Go on. The other one was the West Warriors, who we've already mentioned once on the show. They defeated Newsom the Huddersfield side, and then South Wales Jets. It was their first game as well in the Challenge Cup, and they unfortunately came up short against Stanley.
But there's no like mega runaway scores there, is there?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
Close matches. RAF Navy, very, very close. Donny Ashton, very close. Some very, very close
And
results.
Edinburgh Eagles also won.
Yeah.
So it's to be interesting to see how they get on in the next round, which we'll go on to now.
Yeah. Okay. So this next, or part of this next set of this news story, then, Carl, is this.
So yeah, I've picked out a big fixture really. Oh, there's a couple of big fixtures, but the one I'm really interested in: Rochdale Mayfield versus the West Warriors. So this is like the Kings of the North. Rochdale have always been one of the top sides in the National Conference League, and they're now going to be going up against the finalists of the Southern Conference League, the West Warriors. That is just a belting clash. I'm really interested to see who comes out on top of that one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Some other matches of note there: Hammersmith Hill Hoists playing
Triple H.
Triple H playing West Bowling, a club local to you when you was growing up.
Another really interesting fixture. It's just going to be interesting to see how these southern teams compete against the North. This is the beauty of the Challenge Cup, isn't it? This is everything the Challenge Cup should be.
And also previously mentioned Edinburgh Eagles and playing Loch Lane. So, brilliant fixtures. Okay, moving on then.
Big breaking news. Tackle 5.
Well, I can tell it's breaking news because we've got a little yellow strip at the bottom. Is that it?
Yeah. So the first team we want to announce that's going to be taking part in the Midlands Nines is the Tynebridge Trojans from Devon. So, Craig, we put the tickets live, didn't we? And they were straight in there, weren't they? The first team that's going to be entered from Devon. Great news.
Yeah, literally registration went live, and within a few minutes, they'd kind of signed up, paid up, and had everything organised. And that was amazing because we was having conversations with teams local to the Midlands. It's in the backyard, and they were kind of looking at the logistics of it all, going, well, I don't know, we'll try and make it work and all this kind of stuff. This team from almost as far away as you can get in the British Isles from the Midlands, and they were like, bang, they said, we're in, and that was great. It was great for us to get like a little tick in the box, first team over the line. There are other teams in the competition now, but still plenty of spaces as well. A couple of bits of a couple of updates, Carl, that we should mention. One of which is the reduced squad price, and also we're going to keep the early bird price on the thing. Can you fill us in a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so the early bird price is going to stay, and that's sort of come about. The RFL essentially have provided the insurance for the tournament, so it's been a big saving for us. So we've been able to pass that saving on to the teams and keep that early bird price that we did at £200, which works out at £11 per player. That's for like a squad of 18. But also having spoken to a lot of teams, because the rugby union season crosses over a little bit into the tournament, sort of saying that they may not have a sort of full squad of 18 players available. We have now brought in a tariff for sort of a squad of 13 players at £144. Again, it's the same price. Works out £11 per player, which is great value considering that just the band that we've got on.
Yeah, so definitely worth talking about the band. Now, stay tuned because I'm going to play a little bit of a sample of this of the band in a minute. And Carl, talk to us about the band. Obviously, it'd be no surprise to people that we've got an Arctic Monkeys tribute band headlining the festival, and probably the Arctic Monkeys tribute band in the country, if not the world. How did you go about sort of selecting this band?
Quite easily. I went to watch them in a gig, and they absolutely blew my socks off. I travelled up to Manchester to watch them. Just putting it into context, I went to see the actual Arctic Monkeys this year, and I paid like 65 quid a ticket, and I was miles away from the stage. I paid 15 quid to watch the Mardy Bums that we've signed, and I just had an absolute top night. It was just rocking. They played all the old tunes. It was just the floor was just bouncing. And as soon as I saw them, I said to Kelly, I was like, right, I'm signing these up for the night. I literally was braying on the dressing room door after the gig. I was like, right, I've got this festival. I want you to headline it. Literally how it went, and it was like, who's this crazy guy like brain on his door? So yeah, they're absolutely brilliant, and I just can't wait for us to have the Nines tournament in the morning or into early afternoon, and then after just have all the teams just having a beer together, sun setting, just absolute awesome band in the evening. It's going to be great.
Yeah, there's constantly loads of stuff. Happening with the Midlands Nines. We're going to share little stories as we go along, but some really interesting appearances from different people and different things.
Yeah,
read into that, whatever you want, and also next week, hopefully, we'll have our big trophy reveal.
Yeah, I was going to say, did the old prize fiasco that he rocks up on your door this week, didn't it, Craig?
Yeah, so I'll let me tell you a little story. So Carl's obviously been beavering away, custom designing and having the trophies for the Midlands Nines custom made, and he had them done in America, forged from like the steels of the Virginia mountains or whatever. Anyway, so I come home and this delivery driver's going nuts on the driveway in broken English, basically saying you need to pay a load of import tax to get this parcel. And I was like, well, I've not ordered anything, so what the hell is this? And anyway, I looked at the label and it was like Midlands Nines, and I thought, oh God, is this the trophy then? Anyway, £97 in import tax later, right? I managed to get my hands on this parcel. I tried picking it up, and I was like, the freaking thing weighs a ton. All right, and I was expecting like a trophy shape, like a cup. But this is it's a shield, and it's freaking massive. Did you make a mistake on the measurements, or did you genuinely like? Was
I wanted it to be something worth winning. That's what it was. I spoke to Kelly, my wife, when I ordered. I was like, it's pretty big, this is, and she turned it up. She went, that's massive. But no, it's got to be something worth winning, hasn't it? And I think when people see it, they'll be like, yeah, we want to win this thing. I'm pleased with it anyway. Really pleased with it.
Yeah, and I've got to say, when teams start seeing it, they're going to want it in their trophy cabinet. It is the biggest trophy, if it fits in the cabinet. It's the biggest trophy in the Midlands. Massive,
hands down. Yeah,
yeah. Okay, right. So that's enough of the Midlands Nines. Let's crack on.
You do have an offer on the tickets. Oh, you forgot to.
Yeah, so basically, we've got obviously the tickets for the music festival alone are now live. We're going to run an offer for the next 24 hours just to give people listening to this an opportunity to save a bit of money and to get some free tickets. So we're going to do a buy one, get one free, a bog off offer on the festival tickets. So you can head over to midlandsnines.com and get yourself some tickets, which Carl is beautifully displaying there. Obviously all branded up and done and all that. And you get, so that'll be your music festival ticket. So the code for that is literally going to be
live show.
All right. Yeah. So during checkout, put in live show and you'll be able to get
and these are spectators tickets, aren't they? So it's like festival tickets, so you can come and watch these brilliant teams play, and then it gives you access to all the music and goings on in the evening.
Yeah. I want to get as many people there as we can. Okay, so I'll move on. So the final news story of today.
So Tara Jones officiated the Royal Navy versus the RAF live on BBC this week. Great to see female official taking centre stage in such a big game, and all the calls for her to be refereeing in Super League in years to come, because really fast-flowing game, an absolute top officiating.
Yeah, and Tara Jones is having an absolute stormer at the minute. First female to score at the Challenge Cup final at Wembley. Yeah. You know what I mean? Other news as well. So she's absolutely must think she's on cloud 9 at the minute.
Yes, means also selected for the England performance squad for this year, which I can't wait to keep an eye on. Just see how the England ladies team keep building, because they're just they're on the up, aren't they?
Yeah, and I just want to put a bit of a shout out to any females that's in refereeing, touch judge, that capacity. It'd be great to have you on as a guest, even if it's a phone-in guest, just to learn more about what it's like as a female in the world of refereeing and all that kind of stuff. So if you know anybody, please put them in touch, send them our way. Come on and share your story, because it may encourage other females to get involved with refereeing. And last season we did an episode about referees, and actually it was one of our most popular episodes, without a doubt.
Yeah, 100%. I just echo everything you said there, mate.
Yeah, so to get in touch, and obviously there's an open invite for anybody that's involved in rugby league in the Midlands, outside the Heartlands, who want to come on and share their news. So get in touch, and
yeah, I think it's worth mentioning, actually. I've been speaking to London Broncos recently, so I think we're going to be, I haven't got a date set in mind yet, but we're going to go down to London, record a podcast with the Broncos. And what they've actually said to us is that they'll open it up for us to use the room for another couple of hours. So I'd really like to get any of these southern teams on the podcast. So if you keep an eye on our socials for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be filming down south, and we'd love to just invite a lot of the southern teams. So if you're closer to London than you are to the Midlands, there's an opportunity to be able to record with you and get you on the podcast.
Amazing. Carl, anything else to talk about before we start to wrap it up?
No, we've got a couple of guests lined up. So we've got Nottingham Outlaws. Joe Shep's going to be coming on from the Nottingham Outlaws. And then the Worcester Rebels are booked in to be coming. And we'll keep making the Midlands Nines announcements. Keep announcing the teams. So finally, thanks for watching. If you watched us tonight, it'd be great to get a bit of engagement going next time. So the same sort of roughish time next week. So we want to get this, quite a little popular little stint every week. Yep. If you've enjoyed it, let us know. If you've got any feedback, obviously feedback is the breakfast of champions. We only want this thing to get better and better. So let us know what you think's worked well and what perhaps we could improve on, and we'll kind of take it from there. And we're going to leave you with a couple of comments from Carl, and then a little insight into the Arctic Monkeys tribute band. All right. So I'm going, So tickets for the Nines are going to be on the website. They're on the website this week. Keep filling up those slots for the teams. I think we're halfway there with the men's tournament now, so we haven't got a load of slots left. And enjoy the Arctic Monkeys band, the Mardy Bums.
This is I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor. So maybe the answer you. What is the surprise? This means that I don't really want you to. Your shoulders are frozen, I'm a sure explosion. It ain't so real and I don't care for sand. I am the fuse from the soul and I'm blind from the bango. I've been there too long, but I'm the dance one. Don't know if you're looking